Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be comparing the Toyota Tacoma TRD Off-Road Hybrid to the Chevy Colorado ZR2. Believe it or not, these are the same exact price. So if you're gonna spend the money that it costs to buy either of these trucks, which one should you go for? Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Lurch Miller Chevy here in Murray and the Toyota here in Murray for giving me some time with both of these vehicles. Link to both their websites in the description down below. Let's get into it. Pairing the Tacoma is a turbo 2.4 liter 4-cylinder hybrid that goes through an 8-speed. Fuel economy is 22 around town, 24 on the highway, with power outputs being 326 horsepower and then 465 pound-feet of torque. Before I move forward with this comparison, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, both of these trucks have off-road packages. The Colorado has the ZR2 package, which gives you plenty of underbody protection. You got crazy aggressive recovery points and just an aggressive front end in general. It's kind of like the Colorado Raptor in a lot of ways. The Tacoma has the TRD off-road package, which is kind of like their middle-of-the-line off-road, or their top of the line would be a Trail Hunter or a TRD Pro. But with the off-road, you still get, fog lights and all of that. You can remove the air dam so you can get a more aggressive approach angle. It does have skid plate protection underneath. So interesting to see. Again, same price, what you get. So the Toyota tire and wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 18. The Colorado is 285 by 70 by 17. So they're both about 33 inches, not quite, a little bit less than that, but close enough, right? Colorado has rock rail protection from the factory, and you also notice the Colorado has these giant fender flares. The Tacoma has big fender flares as well, actually, and they both kind of have the wider haunches there in the rear. Now, suspension's actually substantially different in a lot of ways. So we've got Multimatic shocks here with the Colorado. Sorry, they're back there, and leaf springs. The Tacoma is coil sprung, which we can't really see, and then you can see the top of the Bilstein shock. Here's your side profile with the TRD Off-Road. And then here's your side profile with the Colorado ZR2. Now take a look at the bed of the Tacoma. It is a composite bed. We've got an outlet here in the bed as well. And then you've got little USB port and stuff underneath there. But definitely nice setup. You can get it with liner so that it's not so slick, because the composite bed's pretty slick. Now tailgate is very light, which is good. You actually have jack points there in the rear, which is a big plus. But I think overall the style in the back is pretty cool looking. Then the Colorado has protection from the factory, so it's bed liner. You got an outlet here in the bed. But you got plenty of space. The Colorado actually has, just eyeballing it, it's got a little bit of a bigger bed than the Tacoma with how they're set up. You do have a ruler here on the back and then drainable storage. Tailgate's a little bit heavier. Got a fancy painted bumper there at the bottom. Ooh, the Tacoma also happens to have these little lights on the side. The ZR2 comes with this really cool trim inside with the neon stitching. You can see that kind of continues into the back seats here. Got vents here in the rear, USB ports as well. Manual window with it. But yeah, normal mid-sized pickup truck in terms of space. The Tacoma, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit more basic, and that includes these seats. We've got cloth seats here in the rear. You do have some USBs and a little outlet there in the back though, which is nice, and it's a 2400 watt because again this is a hybrid, so got a little bit more power. Now I've got nice trim in the front door panel with the Colorado. It has memory seats. It's got blind spot monitoring. Payload is 1261. Got these kind of fancy front seats with again that trim that's easier to clean. Trailer brake controls from the factory. Quickly close the door here. Full digital gauge cluster. Got a heads-up display as well. We have a heated steering wheel, which is nice, and it's a nice trim here on the steering wheel as well, and then adaptive cruise control on top of that. Infotainment system's pretty quick to respond. It has heated and ventilated seats, dual zone climate. Oh, the shifter's locked, so I guess I'll just do the camera thing. Air down mode. Where's the camera? There we go. But yeah, it's got 360 camera system, underbody cams as well. We also have lockers front and rear. We've got an advanced four-wheel drive system with auto, as well as low and high, off-road drive modes too. And just generally speaking, a nice interior. And then we do have a sunroof up top with this. Now this leads us to the front of the Tacoma. Again, you've got nice soft touch trim here. You've got all of the window controls, which kind of have a nice finish. Blind spot monitoring, 1,200 pounds of payload, and then again, cloth seats, a little more basic. They are power adjustable, which is nice. And you got auxiliary switches too, which is another nice feature. And we'll close the door, this one too. Full digital there, just like the Colorado. And you got adaptive cruise control and everything on the steering wheel. This has just a regular backup camera, no 360. We've got single zone climate, heated seats, heated steering wheel, got a phone charging pad, just a regular part-time four-wheel drive system. It does have multi-terrain select, so it does have off-road drive modes and crawl control, which is actually really impressive. And then you can see here with the center console. And I do want to mention, Toyota's traction control system is a lot better than Chevy's. Chevy doesn't really have that good of a system. That's why they kind of, like the Chevys, they need lockers. Toyotas actually don't, but this does have a rear locker, just for show, basically. And it also has a sunroof, and then again, the rear glass is actually power, so that's kind of nice. Now when it comes to pricing, they both sticker for about $55,000, so see which one performs the best. Oh, Colorado ZR2. It has gotten a little bit more expensive because they no longer offer the base interior. I mean, man, people that got that ZR2 with the cloth interior are so lucky, because you basically get a Raptor performance truck, Raptor levels of performance rather, with suspension, but for sub $50,000. I mean, it was pretty cool setup. So if you got one, you're lucky. Come on, Jeep. Man, the amount of times that people almost hit into me as I'm driving through, it can be kind of scary, but you know, it's part of the job, I suppose. Yeah, I love the torque with this thing. It's really, really nice. When you do throw 35s in the Colorado with the Bison package, it does kind of feel a little bit lackluster, but with the 33s here, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So, seats are pretty comfortable. I think that's a bit of a plus here. I mean, this is full-blown luxury, and it's crazy how luxurious these modern trucks have gotten, even mid-size. I mean, this has heated and ventilated seats for what is ultimately supposed to be like an off-road utility vehicle, so it's definitely gone up market quite a bit. Not too bad, the power. It's got a pretty solid amount of grunt. It does taper off towards the top though, which is pretty typical of a 4-cylinder turbo. If you want more top end, you gotta add some more cylinders. It's just the name of the game there. Handling's pretty good for a leaf sprung solid rear axle vehicle. Yeah, ride quality over everything is actually pretty good. It's a comfortable vehicle to drive. So, Colorado ZR2. I think this is a cool truck. The only downside is now that you have to get this loaded up, it's so close in price to a Ranger Raptor that, although Ranger Raptors are hard to get, I think plenty of people are willing to wait to get one if they only have to spend an extra couple grand. So I think that, you know, Chevy should consider offering either a more powerful engine in this or offer the cloth interior again. So that, because I mean, you know, when you're talking a couple grand less than a Ranger Raptor, it's like, oh, I kind of want to get the V6. But if it's, you know, $10,000 less than a Ranger Raptor, it's like, you know, I can look the other way and drive a 4-cylinder and turbo instead in a pickup truck. Kind of my 2 cents on that. But either way, I mean, the suspension's great on this. I mean, again, it's basically Chevy's Raptor. Handles well, goes over the bumps, no problem. It really is a little Baja beast. Tacoma. Let's see how it compares to the ZR2. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of, I own Toyotas, so like I'm okay with throwing some shade because it's like, I like the brand. I just think that some of the stuff they're just missing on certain things. And this is one of them. The pricing on this new Tacoma is just, it's too much. It's too much. So, what I will say is the seats are pretty comfortable. Not quite as comfortable as the Colorado seats, but they're good. See how the power feels, because this does have more torque than the Colorado. And it's actually got more horsepower. So in the powertrain department, it should technically feel superior, but we'll see if that ends up being the case or not. What I will say right off the bat is I think the engine's maybe a little bit noisier, but it's not a huge difference. Yeah, it does feel like it's got a stronger low-end push. It does feel like it's got more torque. But then just like the Colorado, it tapers off on the top end. So it's not bad. It's just different. It's just different. That was interesting. Yeah, the torque's good. Suspension comfort's actually pretty good. You can tell it doesn't have the same level of suspension as the Colorado, but it performs pretty well. Handling, that's good. It's lower to the ground, so kind of drives that way. Yeah, I do like the torque with this. So in summary, comparison. I think we all know the Colorado's a better value, right? If you're gonna spend 55 grand, don't you want the truck that has the kind of beefier, more cool off-road setup? I do really appreciate Toyota's multi-terrain select. I've experienced it quite a bit now, and it's an impressive system. But locking differentials, they accomplish the same goal. So like, the Colorado has everything. I think that Toyota should consider kind of, and I mean, dealers are already having to kind of discount these Tacomas. I mean, this is like one of the few Toyotas that's not selling. Everything else is pretty much sold out. 4Runners are selling. Everything else is selling except for these Tacomas. So I think they should consider lowering the prices on them. I think that, I mean, you just look at all the competition and everything's just a bit less expensive feature to feature. Just kind of my 2 cents. And you know, I don't think they have to frankly lower it too much. Like, I would say on average across the board, I mean, this is actually a lot of money, but still, let's go, just follow me. I think across the board, like 5 grand. So if this was 50, and then if like a TRD Pro was like 61, that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you think.